In the world we live in, we're constantly bombarded with highlights. Crazy crossovers, acrobatic finishes, poster dunks, tough pull-up threes, buzzer beaters. So what ends up happening is that players start to overvalue these things. And I'm not saying that it's not important to have a deep bag or to be able to make tough shots, but it's not the most important thing. In reality, the most important thing in the game of basketball, the thing that's responsible for 90% of your favorite players scoring and assists, is point 5 decisions. Point 5 decisions is as simple a concept as it sounds. A decision made within half a second of getting the ball. This is also commonly referred to as 0-second decisions. If you want to become a high-level, consistent, and explosive scorer or playmaker, you need to understand what point 5 decisions are and how to take advantage of them successfully. Here's the most important thing you need to know as a player. The game is all about creating and exploiting advantages. The players who are the best at doing this are the ones who score the most, create the most for their teammates, and ultimately have the most success. And the concept behind it is simple. You have 0.5 seconds to decide whether you're going to shoot, drive, or pass. The one thing you cannot do is hold on to the ball, and here's Steph Curry explaining why.
I'm either catching and shooting, I'm catching and ripping, or I'm catching and giving up. If you held the ball for 1 second, that's a grenade and it blew up and you're done. All right, so think about that. I need 0.5 seconds to make a decision, and that's when you start to get the dominoes to fall. All right? On the weak side, strong side, whatever it is. We're giving y'all some terminology. Remember 0.5 basketball. That's a good one to take back to y'all team.
So we heard Steph get into a little bit of terminology right there, which we'll get into now. We'll also hear from another Warriors player coming up here soon. But first, let's talk about those 3 options that he talked about. In these 0.5 decision situations, there are 3 things that you can do with the ball within that half a second. As Steph said, you can either catch and shoot, you can catch and rip, or you can catch and give it up. And if it takes you more than a second to do that, then that basketball is a grenade that just blew up in your hands. So the first option in these 0.5 decision situations is to shoot. This has to be option 1 because it will force a full close-up from a defender, making the other 2 options easier to get to. When a defender knows that you can and will take the shot within half a second, they'll be forced to respect that, and you'll usually know before you even catch the ball whether you have enough space to catch and shoot, or if we need to get to another option. This is why I'll constantly refer to shooting as the most important skill in basketball, and it should be something that you work on constantly so that they have to respect this first option. Now our next option is to drive. So this can obviously happen if there isn't space to shoot, but it can also happen if you know the defender won't be able to stay in front of you, or if you're a better driver than you are a shooter. Now this can lead to a pull-up or ideally a rim finish for you, but many times this is going to lead to a kick out to a teammate where they're going to go through that 0.5 decision process again. This is referred to as the domino effect, but we'll talk about that in a second. And the third option is to make a pass. This is where a lot of players lack a true understanding of the game. A lot of players are hesitant to move the basketball unless they know for a fact it's going to lead to a shot. In reality, it's all about the dominoes. Here's Draymond Green talking about the power of a swing pass.
I was actually telling the guys yesterday, the power of a swing pass. Not I catch it, I survey, I need to do this. The power of simply catching the ball, swinging it the other way, or catching it in a simple dribble handoff the other way. It may look like nothing's coming out of that. You didn't score right off that immediate action. But what it did was it made the defense change sides of the floor. Every defense in the NBA is good if you play one side of the floor. It's once you start switching sides of the floor, and now all of a sudden the low man is now the strong side corner man. He gets lost, and the low man who is over there strong side corner forgets to pull in, and he's lost. That's when you can really dissect a defense and pick them apart.
So not only do we want to look to pass the ball, but we want to do it quickly as to take advantage of the defense and make them shift sides of the floor and be able to exploit advantages that we might have. Think of it like a line of dominoes. One gets knocked over and all the rest start to fall as well. We want to create this domino effect as much as possible because of the absolute havoc it wreaks on defenses. As we see, by knocking over one domino, aka making a 0.5 decision to either pass or drive, it starts a chain reaction which many times helps create a good shot. When we knock over a domino, the defense is always playing at a disadvantage, and as the offense, our number one goal, like I said earlier, is to create advantages and exploit them. And when we do this, it usually leads to even more advantages being created. One of the best times to make this decision to pass is when you're in a 2-on-1 situation, so when maybe you're in the corner, your teammate's on the wing, and there's one defender guarding 2, making that extra pass to your teammate is going to allow them an open shot or a good angle to drive. So the best thing you can do as a player if you want to make more plays is to look to do something, shoot, drive, or pass as soon as you catch the ball, specifically if you receive the ball coming out of an action like a ball screen or a pin down or out of a driving kick situation. This is also powerful because it allows us to take advantage of the defense at their most vulnerable state, which is before they're able to get set and as they're rotating. This is where we're going to most consistently win as an offensive player. I hear from players so often who have questions like, when is the best time to shoot, or when's the best time to drive, or when's the best time to look to score? And the answer is in these 0.5 decision situations. So focus on becoming great at making that shoot, drive, pass, read quickly, and watch how much easier scoring and creating is going to come for you. Make sure you check out my free Basketball IQ Masterclass, which is the top link in the description below. It's over an hour long, and we're going to dive even deeper into this stuff. It'll give you even more understanding of how to score more, how to create more consistently, and develop the mindset needed to reach your full potential as a player. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and leave a comment. Let me know what you got from this. I appreciate you for watching. Talk soon. Peace.